This is Dan Book Nook Noggin, and I wanted to share with you Teeth by Kelli Owen. This is a different take on the vampire trope. One that I really appreciate that it was a different take, and I wanted to see how many pages there are. It's roughly around 243 pages, so this is a quick, fast-paced read. One of the things that's different that sets this apart from other vampire novels is that this takes place in a world where vampires are real, except they're not like the monsters that you're used to seeing being portrayed in like Dracula and other vampire fiction. Vampires they're called Lamians in this world, and they're like humans. They're just slightly different. They just have a different type of diet, a different sort of nutrients that are required for them to live. They do have psychic abilities, and they live a lot longer than the normal average human. So they're kind of like mutants, I guess, in a way. I enjoyed this. I felt like one of the downsides is it was way too short for me. Way too short. I like the fact that Kelli Owens introduces these different type of humans, so we see what it would be like if they stepped out of the shadows into the real world, and people, they hate them and they treat them differently. So there's like the civil rights things going on with the vampires, and hate crimes and all that kind of stuff. One of the things that happens in this book, and I really can't say too much about it, I felt like was the best motivator for the story, was a crime element. A serial killer is introduced, and I can't say anything more about the serial killer, but that was the most interesting aspect of the book, and I wish I could say more about it because it's not mentioned on the synopsis on the back, but I found that element to be really the most catching part of the book that really kept me in suspense and wanting me to find out what was going on. Now, one of the things I do have to say is at times there were a lot of characters. There's a lot of female characters. At times it's kind of taking the perspective from a couple of teenagers. And at times I'm like, is this a YA book or is it a horror book? Because it kind of was hard to tell at times, because there were a lot of like scenes involving teenagers and them dealing and coming to grips with, discovering that they are a vampire, because I guess they find out through some blood test, or that their teeth fall out and get replaced. And yeah, I found that element to be interesting because it kind of added more to the lore of this world to help you kind of understand like what's going on and how traumatic it can be for, not only are teenagers going through puberty, but they have to deal with this too on top of it. But one of the other things, and I wish there was more of this, girl can write a sex scene, let me tell you. I'd only read one other thing from her, and it was a short story in an anthology. I really don't remember what anthology it was. But this, yeah, oh my god. The sex scene was really, really graphic and intense. It was hot. Let's just say it was hot. If she writes erotica, I'm going to read that shit, because that scene was wicked hot. I want more. Definitely give me more of that. But like I said, I felt like it was way too short. It ended too soon for me, and the ending with the serial killer did not feel satisfying to me. I didn't like the way it felt like it was kind of abruptly ended, like almost like the author didn't know how to end it and just kind of ended it. And like I said, I wish this would have been longer. This should have been like maybe a third bigger, maybe twice the size. I feel like that would have been a really great book if it was just longer. Give us some more background on some of the older Lamians. Give us some more background on the serial killer. I think, and then like into the little world before, like maybe set something up before they came out to the public. I think that would have been a little more interesting. I did enjoy this. I gave this a 3 out of 5 star rating. Like I said, I wish it had been longer. I felt like it was way too short. Way too short. I don't know if it's considered a novella because it was only 200 some odd pages. But it is definitely, like I said, the hot sex scenes. If she ever writes erotica, unless she has written erotica and I just don't know about it, let me know if you know that answer to that question down below. If you are a vampire fan, you need to go out and check this out because, it is a different take on vampires. It is interesting. Even if you're someone who's into crime thrillers, I think you'll really get something out of this because they're not really traditionally vampires. They're humans, so it's kind of got that thriller aspect to it, more or less. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Definitely, I'm going to go check out some other stuff written by Kelli Owen. She has a new one that's called The Headless Boy or something like that. I'm going to have to check that one out, too. Of course, as always, for you folks in the U.S., I will have a link to Amazon down below. I'm also going to throw out my coffee link. If you got something from watching this, by all means, help support my channel by buying me a coffee or two. If you can't do that, please, by all means, hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell while you're at it so you know when I upload again. This has been Dan. This has been Teeth by Kelli Owen. A different vampire. I don't know if you can call it a novella, but yes, a different vampire book. Different take on the vampire trope. Go check this out. Till next time, stay healthy and be good to each other.